Welcome to Love Bite.
My boyfriend has had this ongoing issue where he feels bad about any man I've been with, regardless of whether I've had sex with them or not. I personally consider him my first because it was actually consensual, but he considers me getting raped by my ex my first when I was 16. He coerced me into having sex with him by saying stuff like, "If you don't do it, then I'll leave you / I will feel bad," etc. I agreed to have sex with him a few times before I cut all contact because of his disgusting and misogynistic behavior. I agreed after he kept pushing after I said no. Please do not discuss my rape. I do not want to talk about it, and I definitely don't want to hear comments like, "You should have done so and so." Anyway, I love my current boyfriend. We've been together for almost a year, and he's been super understanding and loving. He only has a few insecurity issues like this to work on. I've told him before that, considering that experience, my first time makes me uncomfortable since, to me, a first time should be consensual and not coerced out of someone. Whenever he thinks of the fact that someone else has touched me in a sexual way, he gets super upset and locks himself up in his room or anywhere away from me, and I can't talk to him for a while until he calms down. He admitted that it isn't my issue and he should deal with it by himself, but it makes me feel extremely uncomfortable that he feels that he is not my first, like I consented to my ex. I told him he should get a therapist shortly after we got together, and I realized he has a lot of unresolved issues from his past too, and I keep telling him whenever this happens that he should really get one. He says he will, but he never does, and it makes me feel like he doesn't really care about how his thoughts hurt me. I don't understand why he is upset for himself because another man touched me. Imagine how I feel. I don't think he has the right to feel bad about me not being his first because it was literal rape. I don't know how to proceed with this. I do not want to break up with him, but it causes me such immense stress, anxiety, and hurt whenever he has those thoughts and locks himself up again because it reminds me of what happened. I really hope someone can give me some advice. I went and talked to him about it and insisted on the therapy. He promised he would go, but I made a promise to myself that if he doesn't get started on it within a month, I will have to reconsider my relationship with him. Since it's only been a bit since I wrote this, I can't say much more, but I did clear up a lot of stuff with him. I wanted to clear some things up about that since what I said was very vague. I know I do not owe anyone any explanation, but the comments made me very uncomfortable and upset, and I prefer to explain them. My ex was a violent man in general. He punched a hole in his wall and ripped out his door because his mother was mad at him for something he quite literally caused. He would threaten me and scream at me in general, and it's a miracle he never laid his hands on me despite threatening to do so many times. I also grew up in an abusive household where I was beaten if I disobeyed, and I struggled to say no regardless. I am generally very fearful of men who show signs of violence since I am physically weak because I struggle with an eating disorder and can't defend myself. My ex would threaten me, push me against a wall, and yell at me if I did something he didn't like. I was afraid of him. I hope this clears things up.